Welcome to Malcolm Reed's How to Barbecue Right, a podcast where we talk about barbecue, share recipes, and discuss all things delicious. And now, here's your host, Malcolm and Rachelle Reed.
Hey, welcome back to the How to Barbecue Right podcast. I'm your host, Malcolm Reed, joined by my lovely, talented wife, Miss Southern Shell, as usual, fresh off Memphis in May. Got Tyler on the boards. Shell, are you recovered fully from Memphis in May?
Yeah, I would say so.
Wasn't that bad this year.
It really wasn't.
Being in a new location made the logistics part of it really easy. So
Yeah.
we're gonna get into all about Memphis in May here in a little bit. And first, we got a few housekeeping things we like to get off because we got our Palmer Home event kicking off.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us all about it.
We are trying to raise enough money to feed 2 families for the Palmer Home. Palmer Home is a local organization that takes care of kids, keeps them out of foster care when they're in bad situations, helps them transition into a healthy adult life. And we're trying to feed 2 families for them. And
Big undertaking. We did it last year.
Yeah, we did it last
We
year.
exceeded our goals, and we're going to do it again, right?
Yeah. So the top 5 fundraisers, you can fundraise as a group, you can fundraise as an individual, but the top 5 fundraisers, we're going to bring them in, do a big pig picking in November. It's kind of a VIP
celebration.
It's not a class.
Experience.
Experience. It's not a barbecue class.
Basically hanging out.
We're going to hang out. We're going to talk barbecue. We're going to
cook a hog.
We're going to pig pick.
And other delicious stuff.
Yeah.
We're going to have a contest so you can eat the most whole hog. What do you got? I mean, as a whole hog normally feeds, 100, 150 people. We're going to have 5. So
no, you get to bring a guest.
Okay, so we're going to have 10. Plus us.
We might have a few special guests.
Yeah, okay. I like the way you think.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of meat.
It's going to be a lot of meat. Everybody gets to take home a Ziploc bag.
Everybody gets a Ziploc bag, take back like a doggy bag for the hotel. We're going to provide transportation like a shuttle or something so people don't have to worry about driving from the hotel to here.
And get you back.
That way you can have a libation if you want.
Yeah, you can do.
It's up to you what you do after that. We're going to get you there safe. We're going to get you here safe and back to where you came from safe.
I'm hoping when you leave here, all you'll want to do is
it's like
lay
last
down.
year. We had a blast.
Yeah.
We broke out whiskeys and there was all kinds of good stuff. There was even doing bong rips on the cone, shots. Are we going to do different drinks and things like we did last year?
Oh, yeah,
you got a lot of
definitely.
planning to do for this.
Yeah. We always make
It's
it a
always
good
fun.
event.
I like the way it's shaping up though.
But if
So
you
that's going on. When's the Palmer Home done? Is it started now or
no,
is
it won't start until Memorial Day and it runs until Labor Day.
first big barbecue holiday?
It is. First big
What's
one,
good?
last big one.
We'll talk about that at the end. What we're going to do for Memorial Day? Is that next? That's not this weekend, but next weekend. Yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
it's coming up.
I might go try to catch a baseball game somewhere.
We will. We have 2 planned.
2 World Series.
If you want to find any more information about our Palmer Home donation or fundraiser, go to howtobbqright.com/Palmer, PALMER.
Good deal.
Okay. Now you
And-
can baseball.
No, I was just saying, it's Memorial Day. I think about baseball. Let's go to St. Louis and catch a couple Cardinals games or something. Maybe
Yep.
we don't go to Atlanta. We'll see.
Sounds like a plan.
Cook-off contest. SCA event we're sponsoring in Melbourne, Arkansas, August the 13th. It's with our friends over at Townsend Spice and Supply. I guess this is the 4th year, maybe.
I think so.
We've been twice. We missed last year. Yeah, but this year we're going back and we're going to help them help sponsor it. So get the word out. Hopefully get some teams there. The payout's outstanding.
$2,500 for first place.
If you come kick a ribeye steak, I've showed you how to do it in a recipe. It ain't nothing to it. Come over there and get you a check for $2,500. And they're doing, I guess it's the first ever, I don't know, trout.
Rainbow trout.
I think as far as I know in SCA, they haven't had like a rainbow trout category.
Yeah.
But they are this year. It's a rainbow trout ancillary where I'm not sure what it's called. It's probably like Arkansas
It's just
Department of Wild and Fish or something like that.
on the flyer. It's just rainbow trout.
But it doesn't say who it's provided by.
No.
Oh, I mean, I think it's got something official, but
Yeah.
So we have a flyer. Did you put it out on social yet?
We put it on the community page. We're
Okay.
going to put it on regular social today.
Yeah, if you remember the community page, you may have seen it with the details. It probably shows the break. You got the flyer up? What's the breakdown?
First place for what? Steak.
Steak.
First place $2,500.
That's
Second
strong.
place $1,000.
Whoa, second place gets $1,000.
Yeah, third place is $750.
Can you sponsor it and cooking it?
No. Well, Michael might cook in the kids' pork chop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keep rolling through it.
Third place $750, fourth place $500, fifth place $250, and sixth through 10th place you get $100.
So what's the entry fee for?
$150.
Does that get you in steak and?
No, it's an additional $35 to do the trout.
Okay. And what's the trout payout?
$500 for first, $300 for second, $200 for third.
That's pretty strong.
Yeah.
So you for $185 commitment, you can be in steak and trout and have a shot to walk away with $3,000.
Yep.
That's 25. If
Yep.
you won first place in both, $3,000.
And the kids even get a payout. Usually kids don't get a payout. They're
paying out. We're paying out the kids. Who
First
came up with
place.
this idea?
There's gonna be some cheating going on in this kids. But I just feel
What's the kids payout?
First place $350, second place $200, third place $100.
That's strong for a kids cook.
yeah.
What's the entry fee to get in?
$25.
Oh, you can't beat that. How old are you going to be?
I'm sure they
We're
have
not
to
doing-
go by SEA rules. There's an SEA.
You're not
going to
be
rules.
like 2 years old and get in it.
They
We need to get like some fishing pole sponsors or something.
Yeah.
Like give away some fishing poles or something. That'd be something cool.
But that's going on
Trout bait.
August 13th if you want to sign up for that, because I imagine it's going to fill up pretty fast.
Yeah, in Melbourne, Arkansas, they're going to have. I know. I've been talking with Shane and the people over at Townsend, and they're working on having vendors there. It's going to be more to do than just your typical SEA cook-off. Show up and cook a steak. It's on a beautiful golf course there. Friday night, there's always like a cook's appreciation thing where they have a band, and
It's fun.
yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot. That's a fun one to go to. It's one reason why we go. The only downside to it is it's in August, so it's pretty damn hot. But hey, bring a fan, bring a kickback chair and some tent, and have a good time in Melbourne, Arkansas. Beautiful part of the country.
Does it feel different to start sponsoring events instead of competing in
It does a little. I mean, we've dabbled in it, so this is our second or third dabbled in sponsoring. I guess it's going to be time to start working on our local Hernando Water Tower Festival. They've announced the date this week.
Yeah.
September
24th, I think.
I'm not happy about that.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I've got a silent protest going on because I've got to put somewhere I want to be. I want to be up with our friends at 17th Street in Murfreesboro, Illinois, cooking KCBS that weekend and
NBN and SEA.
But we're going to be here in Hernando organizing the Water Tower Festival. I guess. Have we officially been asked to do that? I may just be putting it out there. Don't even know. They might be like, hey, no, we don't want y'all to come back.
Yeah, I don't know if they've asked.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
I'm just
they
throwing
have.
it out there. I guess that's where you get stuff done. Just say you're doing it. But that's coming up in September, right?
Yeah.
We got a ways, but as far from an organizer standpoint, you got to.
No, this is time you got to start planning. Yeah.
But that's all the housekeeping stuff.
So, how did you do in Memphis in May?
Fantastic. I thought that's what we spend our day going over. I mean, Memphis in May is over. The dust has settled. Everything's put up, and we just kind of talk about what our experience was like this year at Memphis in May, because it was different. They moved. If anybody knows about Memphis in May, the World Championship Barbecue Cooking Contest, it's always been on the banks of the river, right in downtown Memphis, at Tom Lee Park. That's what made it so special. At the foot of Bill Street, in between the bridges, and it's just gorgeous down there. You've got the scenery, the river, the barges, the river boats.
And we've always had a river spot for the past several years.
Yeah, yeah.
I miss that.
That was the biggest
That was the
disappointment.
biggest change, yeah.
But
for me.
Logistically, it was so much easier at the fairgrounds.
Yeah.
You had so in Memphis in May, you have to like pay for the size spots you have. And they have small spots, but they have average size spots, and they have, so if you got a big business, you want 2 spots, they'll sell you 2. If you got thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
But anyway, we got our normal size spot, which is 34 by 50 something. I don't know the exact measurements, but it's a big spot. It's big enough to get our trailers in and everything we bring. But we had
It's one of the bigger size spots you can rent.
But this year, and they always crowd you in downtown. I mean, you are on top of each other.
And
The
they
other
are
person's
strict.
tent is on your tent. Everybody's fighting for every inch down
Yeah.
there. Here, no, it's just like, okay, we got islands in between us.
Yeah.
There's grass. There's little grass areas. There's trees. They're not in the way. It's all paved parking. And
You had more elbow room.
getting in and out was a breeze. There's no jumping curbs and dealing with mud holes and just the way the park gets. You can imagine in a grass park how nasty it gets.
Well, one big thing with the park is the way they lay it out. The lanes aren't wide enough to get 2 cars down.
It's tight.
So if somebody stopped loading up, or unloading their tent and trailer, it creates a traffic jam.
Did you get a? I didn't even. We didn't even get in a traffic jam this year.
I've sat in a traffic jam for 3 hours before trying to.
We've broke
load
a
up.
booth down before the truck could even get to us to hook up to something before at Memphis. Down on top
how
of the
you
park.
do it, yeah.
But here it was easy. I'm talking about the easiest ever. That was great. So I liked that part of it.
No hill to climb in and out.
No hill to climb. The bad thing was, man, we got some stuff. We got robbed. we had people staying overnight. We still got robbed. They come out and run people off, and then I guess they hid in the bush, waited on them to go back to the inside, and they come back and robbed us blind.
Well,
Stole a bunch of liquor from us. Stole one of your favorite coolers that we had. Tried to get another big. Was that a Grizzly cooler? But
yeah,
I guess they figured they couldn't get it all. Must not have been very many people. I think it was just a one-man operation.
they stole most of our beer that we had sitting out.
Yeah, if you had normally we don't. I've never had problems with Memphis and me. Something getting stolen.
They stole the lids and the catering
To the chafing dishes.
To the chafing dishes.
What do you do with those?
Don't know.
I don't know. I don't get it. Why would you take that?
And they stole my red rolling cooler, but left the lid.
Yeah. Stole Jamie's Arctic backpack style cooler, soft-sided cooler. But anything that wasn't tied down, they were going. And we caught them going through the meat cooler. And that's when Mark, I think, realized he was inside in the trailer.
Oh, my gosh.
So we had 3 people there. Mark and Jay Craig and Brian Wesson were all in the trailer. It was 2 a.m. in the morning, They had a good time on Thursday night and was going to stay all night because meat inspection was first thing Friday. And we'd like to have somebody there if possible. So he heard somebody rummage. It sounded like, I guess Mark was on the other side of the wall. It's not like it's not like a house wall. I mean, you got thin metal and you're right on the other side of it laid down. He could hear somebody open the cooler, popped out the door, and he said, "There's a guy going through it." No, he ran him off. He didn't think nothing about it. He said the guy was obviously impaired.
And he said he was just looking for beer.
He told him he was looking for a beer, and Mark told him, "We don't have any beer." And the guy stumbled off to the next tent. He run him off from there and got him in the street. Well, Mark goes back inside and I guess lays back down like I would have done.
Yeah.
And we get up the next morning. Next thing you know,
no, he woke up again and chased him off. That's when he saw him running down the street with the cooler.
Oh, he didn't see it. No, he didn't see him with the cooler. No, he only ran him off that one time.
Okay.
So when they got up in the morning, they could tell.
I was just so upset.
I mean, can you imagine? You wake up.
My cooler was gone.
You're probably, in not the right state of mind when you wake up. You know how it is. Somebody's out there rummaging through your stuff. You think you run, get off my lawn or whatever. But no, they came back and got us. So.
They got some other people too. We're finding out.
Oh yeah, we weren't the only ones. Several booths down lost ladders and fans and
somebody lost a generator.
Yeah, that was the bad thing about it. I'm not blaming that on Memphis and May. That's not their fault. I mean, I guess you should have security or something like that, but they do a pretty good job in general. But it felt like there was, something else going on. I don't know if it was inside job or what, but there was the parking situation was strange the way they were making money and adjusting the prices on that. I don't think Memphis and May had anything to do with that. That's just price of doing business in that area. So, but I'll go back. I'll definitely go back. That's not stopping me from having a good time down there. We got more beer and we got more liquor. Have you ordered another cooler yet?
That was $150 cooler.
That's not much in the talks of coolers, though.
I know, but
what if it would have been the Big Yeti and it would have been a $700 cooler?
Or what if it would have been our contest
somebody
meat?
did get a big cooler stole. Another one of the teams. There were several.
Several people
heard of more thievery going on this year than in normal years.
What if they would have stole our comp meat? Our ribs.
Oh, I'd have been upset then.
I don't know what we would have done.
I've heard it happen before at other contests, not at Memphis and May, but
I think he said it happened.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, forget which one that was, but
so
bad deal. But so we got load in done. Our setup was a breeze. We divide our booth up because we do on-site judging, and that's a big part of Memphis and May is your blind score and your on-site score, and that's where you have to decorate it up. When you do a good setup, because we bring our big trailer. I'm talking, the new black trailer, y'all probably heard me talk about it, but it's like a 34-foot trailer.
It's got a bath. It's like a RV.
Yeah, it's got bunks in it, another bed that lets out. It's got a big porch with the Outlaw on it now. But we bring that trailer so we have a comfortable place to stay. It's got AC so you can get in out of the heat.
Man, it was hot this year.
Dude, it was so hot. I mean, it was brutal for the first 2 days, and then it was nice Friday because it stormed, and Saturday was beautiful. But we also brought Miss Fancy, which is a pull behind outlaw, and we bought the BFO, which is the big freaking outlaw. And that's what, because we cook so much. And so we need a pretty good size spot, and we put a tent right down the side of it, what's that tent? 20 by 40?
20 by 40, yeah.
And then we split it. So we create, we hang up a rope and put a tent wall up and create.
You got a front and you got a back.
Yeah, front of the house, back of the house, like a restaurant.
Yeah. So the front of the house is all decorated and looks nice, and the back of the house is just for utilitarian purposes.
Hanging out, beveraging, and cooking, because we cooked in all the ancillaries. And so we're going to talk about those today.
So what do we cook?
Well, first we turned in 3 sauces. I turned in 2. You turned in 1. How did I do in my 2?
You were, 11th?
11th in tomato, I think, wasn't it? And 12th in vinegar. So I had a good run. Now,
What'd you turn in?
I'm not going to say I did a lot.
What'd you turn in?
I turned in a 50-50 for the tomato.
What's a 50-50?
50% vinegar, 50% regular
Killer
beef
hog.
barbecue sauce. And then in the vinegar, I turned in like a 75-25. 75% vinegar, 25% just to change it up a little bit. But we warmed them up. We don't turn them in just like room temp. So we warmed them up. I don't know, it wasn't hot, like 120, 140 degrees.
Yeah.
And then you pour it in a little styrofoam cup and then send it off to the judging, which we were right in front of the turn-in. I love that in our spot.
Yeah, it was convenient.
We didn't have great visibility, but we were right in front of turn-in, so you had like 20 yards.
Yeah, it
which
wasn't
is close
far.
if you've ever been to Memphis and me.
We were about.
And
as
you
close
did
as you
mustard. You wanted to do mustard sauce. I've done fairly well in mustard sauce there, but you wanted to do it this year, so I said, "Okay, Shell, let's see what you got." What'd you do?
I bombed.
What did
I get? 60.
Do you know? I don't know what. Yeah.
I mean, there's 300. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It was bomb.
It was over middle of the pack.
Yeah. I took Chick-Fil-A sauce.
Like squeezy Chick-fil-A sauce.
And mixed it with the vinegar, Killer Hog's vinegar sauce.
And a little bit of Cattleman's Honey Gold.
And a little bit of Cattleman's Honey Gold. Yeah.
It wasn't bad.
It was good.
It tasted like it needed about a dozen chicken nuggets. Yeah. And it would have been awesome.
Mark said, "Did you put mayonnaise in this?"
Because it was creamy. It was not what I was thinking it was going to be. I was thinking like a vinegar-style mustard, sauce.
Yeah.
It was not. It was like a creamy, like a mayo-based.
And I was like, well, technically, I did not put mayonnaise in there.
There's not mayonnaise in it. Is there mayonnaise? It's
There's
Dijon
mayonnaise
mustard.
in Chick-fil-A sauce.
Oh, is there?
I think so.
I didn't think. Well, there's honey mustard and barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
So if they made mayo in the honey mustard, but I don't know.
It's something creamy.
But
yeah,
it
was real
tasted
creamy.
great. Was it a mustard sauce? I mean, it had mustard in it, obviously, but it was not what I don't think judges were looking for.
I wanted them to say, "Mwah." 10s.
You were trying to be different.
Yeah.
You shot it out there. It was fine. It was fine. Hey, what's the
should've-
difference in 11th and 12th and 65th? It don't really matter at that point. You didn't get to walk the stage
Yeah.
for it. But we did get to walk the stage for turkey, which was the next category I'm going to talk about. We walked for wings, which was right behind that.
We should have turned in Mikey's wing sauce. For
Yeah, that was
mustard
good.
sauce.
And then we walked for first place chicken. So for turkey, every year Memphis and May, well, I think they go in like contracts. And so they must have a contract with the turkey people now. It lasts for like 5 years.
Yeah.
It's been turkey for a while. But we did, so that what they did, they gave you a whole fresh turkey. And I guess it was about 10, 12 pounds, something like that. You got it on Wednesday. And then you had to turn it in on Thursday. However, we could make whatever dish you wanted with it, but you had to use white and dark meat from the turkey.
I didn't realize that was a rule.
So when we got there Wednesday, we brought a Traeger pellet grill with us because we do some cooking while we're there. We do our ancillaries and stuff. We didn't fire up the big pit, but we fired up that Traeger, and the Russell and Karen Wright from Right on Cue come over and they help us out at Memphis and May. They kind of joined the team for Memphis and May.
It takes a team.
It does. And they wanted to do the turkey, so I thought, yeah, man, I'd love for y'all to.
Heck yeah.
They had an idea to do turkey egg rolls. So we got the turkey. Russell seasoned it up. We throwed it on the Traeger like 300 degrees. He seasoned it with, I want to say he used Riley, his Steak Princess's Fiesta rub and another one of them.
Yeah.
His daughter's got a line of seasonings, and he may have put some AP or something like it too, like first. And then he went on and he stayed there Wednesday and smoked that turkey. It took probably 4 hours. pulled it apart.
Smoked it whole. Did he spatchcock it?
No, he smoked it whole on the
smoked it whole.
Traeger. Let it cool off some, pulled it, and then he made a filling with it that night because he wanted it to set and come together. And so they did like, it had cream cheese in it, had celery and onions. It didn't have slaw in it. It didn't have cabbage. The green was like from celery and onion. And had, a few other things. I didn't ask him for the exact recipe, but I'm sure he'd give it to us. I mean, I may end up trying to do like a TikTok or something with it just because it was different. But they made up this filling with the shredded dark meat and white meat, all these other ingredients like the cream cheese and the celery and onions and different. They might have had some pepper jelly or something. It was really good. I was trying. He was like, when we get there the next morning, I want y'all to try this filling to see if we need to adjust. Oh, it had some hot sauce. Like he put Killer Hog's hot sauce in it. He put some Burn 'em Down in it, and he put some Valentina in it. And I think it had cilantro too. So it was kind of a southwesterny flavor. And he wanted us to taste that filling and see if we needed to adjust it before he made the egg rolls. So we got there the next morning, and we're trying it with a spoon. I was like, man, this stuff, I mean, it's like really good, like chicken salad.
Yeah.
So it had that, but it tastes like turkey. You could tell it was definitely turkey, not chicken meat in it.
That's what Karen said. We still wanted you to know there was turkey in it.
Yeah. So it had all the elements you were going for. And so Karen sat down with these egg roll wrappers, and we went and borrowed some eggs as we'd forgot some eggs.
Oh, really?
They ran down to the shed, and the shed let them borrow. I saw them come back with like 4 eggs. And she whipped those up. And, you know how you got to kind of paint the edges on the egg roll to get them to stick together. Well, she rolled up all these egg rolls and it probably they had 3 quarts of that filling, like in plastic containers. And I don't know how many egg rolls she rolled. It was a bunch. It was like 3 pans worth.
She's really, really good at the, the rolling and the precise and the getting it.
They were beautiful.
Yeah.
And so he brought a little fryer and just hooked it up on the trailer. I mean, we fried a few testers, and it was like, man, this is good. Kind of cut them on a bias and let them sit there. They needed a dipping sauce, so he's like, man, we brought something, but I don't know if it really goes. They were going to bring like an avocado dipping sauce, but I don't think they could find it or something happened. And so I said, well, let's whip up one. So we took vinegar sauce and pepper jelly. I had like a jar of this Lottie's pineapple pepper jelly, and we threw it in a glass jar and heated it up in the sous vide just to where the jelly would melt and come together, and we dipped it in there. It's like, man, that's a pop right there. So when we turned it in, we sliced those egg rolls on a bias, put them in the box, had a little bell pepper that we kind of cut open as a little cup vessel, poured that pepper jelly vinegar sauce combo in there, and turned it in second place. That easy on stage.
That easy.
And all the other egg rolls were gone.
Yeah.
Like people demolished them. And we didn't have that big a crowd there when we were doing the turkey. And then Mikey did the wings that day. And so he did.
And first of all, Mikey's won with this recipe multiple times.
Yeah. Mikey's my wingman. Me and him started we were doing back during football season on Mondays here at the shop. After work, Monday nights, me and him would go get a pack of wings each, and we'd sit there and cook wings, and I'd come up with we tried different ways, and I'd usually release one of the videos on social some kind of way, or not video, just pictures and recipe. I did that for most of the football season until team started sucking. So I lost interest.
I knew you would.
But anyway, he's my wingman. So Mikey was doing wings, and he did just a Memphis, I call it a Memphis take on a Memphis classic, hot honey gold wing. And I don't know if any other cities have these. I've never seen it on a menu when I've went to other places and ate wings. But in Memphis, all the local wing joints do a honey gold or hot honey gold wing.
Which is kind of a mustardy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Cattleman's honey gold sauce, it used to be called, now I think it's called the Carolina sauce or Carolina gold. But they've used that, and they've mixed it with whatever buffalo wing sauce they have. So Mikey kind of did a take on that. He whipped up the sauce because Cattleman sponsors Memphis in May, and they give us so many bottles of whatever sauce we want. So we got some of that Carolina Gold, and he used some, was it Frank's buffalo sauce and some Killer Hog's hot sauce and some Worcestershire. I'm probably going to do a recipe on this, too.
I'm not sure what that.
But he put a little seasoning on the wings, threw them on a pit. I think he cooked them whole. Cut the flappers off where it just made look like a V, the flat and the drummy. Barbecue smoked wing style, tossed them in that sauce, lined them all up in a box. First place.
Second place.
Easy. No, he was first. No, wings were second too. Dang,
he did get a perfect score.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
But it was a coin toss that. But
So-
I think our turkey got a perfect score too. It was a coin
Yeah.
toss that.
All the top ones, it's so close.
Yeah, it's usually.
So
everybody.
the next category, that's all. That takes care of Thursday. We did 3 sauces and those wings and turkey.
Yep.
And we move on to Friday. We've got four categories this day. We've
This
gotta
is
do-
when we find out our cooler is.
this is at the point.
Things have gone into
my
chaos.
half gallons of my whiskey, my vodka, anything that we left underneath the table, it was gone. And I don't know why we did that. Why we didn't.
Because we've done it every year.
Yeah, and we had people staying there, so we
Yeah.
didn't think about it. But anyway, I'm surprised they didn't
told me
steal the
we only-
bullfrog container. That would have really upset me.
Yeah, because that was a brand new bullfrog container.
Can I say thank God they didn't take the nacho cheese machine?
Yeah, that's the most valuable thing there, and they left that sitting there. The nacho machine.
I don't know if the nacho cheese machine is going to go back on tour.
I don't,
Oh, well, it's too hard on it, Tyler. I don't want to take those chances. You're gonna have to get you a big chain and cable lock and chain
It was
that nacho
so
machine
dirty when
up.
it came back.
Was it?
I had to scrub it down.
Well, going into the
And I didn't
Friday
like all
categories,
those strangers touching it.
Tyler spits his coffee, molesting your nacho machine. It's not
Germing
like you
it
just
up.
use it once. We're talking one bite nacho here. I hope we got a video. Did you record me doing the one bite
Yes.
video?
Yeah.
We're gonna put that on TikTok. It's probably the best way to eat nachos. You just need the whole machine, the whole big can, your favorite chips.
That is the
and
best way to eat nachos.
Yeah,
one chip at a time.
You get maximum cheese coverage. You can put your seasoning and your hot sauce, your jalapeno on it.
And then you go about your business, and then you come back, get you another one.
Let you savor that bite. Walk around, have a beer, have a drink,
Go grab you another one.
get you another one. But you get more pumps and more wear and tear on your machine doing that, I guess.
And
More
German
room
it
for
up.
contamination. My thinking on that is you drinking a bullfrog, it's going to wipe out any kind
Yeah.
of germs you get. So. But going into Friday's contest, so first one on deck, chicken. And Mark's doing chicken. But Jay Craig, they had the idea, let's do a dark meat and a white meat box, kind of like we would for the Jack.
Yeah.
So the judges get best of both worlds. And Jay Craig from Indiana, Mr. Outlaw himself, said, I'll bring the thighs, I'll comp trim them, show up with them. We need them like 3.5 ounces because we're going to try to each because we're going to put wings in there too.
Oh, they do 3.5 ounces?
They're small thighs.
Yeah, they are small thighs.
Yeah, because I told him we're 5 ounces.
Yeah, we're
We
5
want-
to 5.5. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he did them smaller. They were Springer Mountains, I think.
But but you have to, if you're going to put the
Flats. in there.
flats in there, you got to have the extra room.
And so
they have to be small.
that's what we did. We do the 6 pieces of thighs in, and Mark did those standard on the Outlaw Pit, just like we would comp chicken. And then he did the flats, like cut some wings down and did them in butter, like pretty much seasoned them and cooked them in a pan of butter the whole time to where they were just soft and the skin was perfect. And then at the very end, you put them up on the microwave shelf in the Outlaw because the heat's flowing through it and it's hotter up there, and you can just see that skin kind of crisp up.
so
and
tell
it
me
just
about
sets it.
what's the microwave shelf in the Outlaw?
It's so you've got your regular cooking grate that's about level, where you would think it'd be, right up under the dial, normal level on a grate. Well, Jay built like this hanging bracket. It's where it holds a slide-in shelf on the far end on the exhaust pipe end that comes down about probably 4 inches. Is that shelf height from the top of the pit?
Mm-hmm.
And they call it the microwave shelf because as the heat flows through there and the exhaust pipe is pulling your smoke and your heat out of the pit, causing that kind of convection effect, it's in that hottest zone where the hottest air is moving. It's got, tons of high heat. So
What do you think it is? Like if that pit's running 275.
It's probably neighborhood of 400,
Okay.
375, 425 in that range somewhere.
Yeah.
Because we do a lot of, that's your get behind. If you're behind, that's where you go with your stuff.
Throw it on the microwave.
Or if you're glazing, it glazes fast. But so that's what Mark did with those wings. After he got them tender and got the texture he wanted on them, re-season them a little bit, get them out of the butter, re-season them, and then dunk them in sauce carefully, put them on a rack, and then slide them in that microwave shelf, and it just makes them beautiful. So we had
They were
this
pretty.
box, and there's probably a picture of it on Facebook.
There is.
yes.
But you can see the 6 thighs arranged in there. And then instead of trimming the box out with like greenery like we do in a KCBS, like parsley or whatever, we trimmed it out with those flats, just had them running a border around it. Turn that in, first place chicken.
I thought the flats were running down the middle.
But I think they were on the edges, weren't they?
There was it was kind of like an eye, like a
Yeah.
like a
It made a border.
yeah.
Made a border with them kind of.
came.
All I know is when they started calling out chicken, we were the last name called. That's what they want. And we got a big check for that one.
Yeah, we did get a big check. Daggone.
We let everybody go. We let you got to go on stage. Michael got to go on stage.
Oh, okay.
You see how he did it?
Yeah, it did make an eye.
Yeah, I mean it's got kind of the border. So the chicken, the thighs are
nothing but chicken. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks really good. Like I see why that box would win.
Yeah,
and they'd probably do really good in KCBS too.
I didn't.
Jack. I mean, Mark and them got. I don't know if they got first place at the Jack
They
with
did
it.
get first place in the Jack.
Yeah, same kind of box.
Yeah. I didn't try one of the wings, but I did try one of the thighs, and it was the most tender thigh that I've ever had.
Skipped right over that thigh and went straight for those flats.
How were the flats?
Oh, melt in your mouth.
Yeah,
it was
that's how the
perfect texture. But so we had the drums left over, and Jay just seasoned those and threw them on the outlaw and cooked them. I ate more of them than I ate anything. I just smoked chicken wings, awesome. We didn't even toss them in a sauce. They were just dry rub smoked chicken wing.
I think he used a little of that cojita cheese.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, and replace
like
the
he was making a
Parmesan.
parm wing. Okay,
Yeah.
maybe that's why they had a good crunch,
Yeah,
but it wasn't like a.
He didn't go
crust.
real heavy with it because we didn't have much.
Yeah,
you know,
they were good. But that takes us into beef next. Which for beef, if there was one entry that I tried that I thought was probably the best bite I had at Memphis in May, we did. Kevin, they got them from Kevin down at the butcher shop in Pensacola. It was a Wagyu brisket and some Wagyu filets. And Mark did this one. It was going to be a 50-50 box. One side was filets cooked perfect, medium rare, slices kind of shingled up. And then he split the box with parsley. So you had a box divided, and it was Wagyu brisket. And it was, I'm talking about money. It melted in your mouth. He just did the flat. He didn't do the point. And it was some of the best, and I don't say this very often, brisket, that style, like comp style that I've had. And
it was the best comp style brisket I've ever had.
I mean, every morsel of it was gone. I ate the last piece because in the box, I guess, like, how you slice brisket, and there's always one last bit, and it kind of looked like a burn in, but it was out of the flat, and it was just sitting over in the corner. Probably been sitting there for 2 hours, and I grabbed it and put it in my mouth, and it just was flavor and texture and everything I wanted in a bite of brisket. And my eyes rolled back, and I was like, God, how is this? This is the one. We didn't know how we would did on anything at this point. And we were still in the middle of it. And I was like, Mark, I don't know about the wings. I don't know about the sauces. I don't know about the turkey, whatever. That right there, if there's a piece of beef out here that's going to beat that, I want it because that's first place. And you know what? What we get? 65th on it? I mean, you never know. And I guess the only thing I can think of on that one is it confused the judges because you had rare meat on one side and then you had brisket that's cooked up to 200 plus degrees.
They didn't know what to make of it.
Didn't know what to think. And so we were thinking that it was just a flight of beef that you would have the best. You could eat it rare, or you can have this beef that you like this. And it must have, I don't know. We won't do that again. We won't make that mistake because I think the brisket by itself
could have won.
Won. The filet by itself could have won, but together it was too much. So I don't know. But that kind of sucked because that was the one thing. It's like that in competition barbecue. When you think, and it's happened to me a lot, when I think that's the entry that's going to get me there today,
that's the
best thing I turned in, I do the worst in it.
Yeah.
I don't know why it is. It just happens.
And sometimes when you think that's not that good, we didn't do good.
But we've got free turkey over here mixed with cream cheese and some veg, or just some chicken wings that Mikey does in his sauce. We've probably got $20 in those entries or whatever, and then you spent $250 on a brisket, probably 200 on fillets. He's got, and then you finish. That goes to show you.
That's how it is.
You don't have to spend a ton of money on those ancillaries to do them. Now the next one was seafood, and Russell and Karen wanted to do seafood too. They had a really good stuffed shrimp recipe that they asked me how bacon wrapped shrimp does a contest like that. And I said, well, usually it wins.
Yeah, that's usually what people want.
So that's what they did. They took these big, I guess they're 10 counts, whatever, giant shrimp, made this lump crab meat stuffing with cream cheese and pepper jelly, and I don't know what else they had, and I didn't watch. Stuffed those shrimp with it and then wrapped them in a half a piece of bacon and seasoned it up and cooked them till the bacon was perfect. and then glazed them with Lottie's original pepper jelly. And they arranged them on these little lemon slices in the box.
It looked great.
And it probably would have won if we hadn't had a 2.5 hour delay.
Yeah.
Because they didn't buy, I mean, you got to think they probably bought, I don't know how many shrimp they bought.
Why did we have a 2.5 hour delay?
We had a storm. So what happened, Memphis and May, like they had this storm. They must have known something. Because they had these signs up, storm shelter this way or whatever. It never fails. Memphis and May's going to storm. I don't know why they do it. But they come on and they're trying to evacuate the park because the storm's coming. And the sky's clouded up.
I mean,
and the
on the
wind
radar,
got up a
it
little
looked
bit.
really serious.
And it looked like it was fixing to hammer us. And so they come through and they're like, everybody go to the Liberty Bowl, the big football stadium over there. I was like, where are they going to put you over there? You just going to stand around? And that's what happened. All these sheep that went over there stood around. Well, we hid in the trailer. I was like, I ain't going. They're going to problem. We had meat on. We had contest due. It's like, y'all go ahead. You had an option. You could leave the park or go to the Liberty Bowl or don't get caught. Those are your 3 options. I opted for don't get caught. So we rode out the storm, and it wasn't bad at all.
No.
There may have, I guess they were worried about lightning more than anything, maybe, because it didn't say tornado. And I was watching, it was like, this isn't tornadic. So
it was a pretty severe storm, and then it hit Memphis and kind of dissipated.
Does what storms do when they hit the Bluff City.
Yeah.
That's what the Choctaws knew back in the day. That's what they built on them. That's why they were living there way before we were ever here.
But
the storm split, and that's what it did.
But it caused for a 2.5 hour delay.
And so right at seafood turn-ins, it was like you're ready to build the box, and they say no, cancel turn-ins for seafood and beef. We'll let you know. Go to the Liberty Bowl or leave. And we was like, what are we gonna do? We got all these shrimp cooked, and how are you gonna hold the shrimp? So we had because we keep our sauces going like kind of warm in a little bath. And so it's like, man, the only thing we can do is
sous vide them.
Hold them shrimp, put them in a bag, try to keep them set temperature. We'll reglaze them.
Well, that's the safest way for food safety reasons.
They were hell. They didn't cook anymore.
Yeah.
Stayed at the perfect temperature. And so when they told everybody you could go back to your booths, they said, we'll let you know when turn-ins are going to go. And so it ended up being like 6:45 and 7:30 or something like that for seafood and beef. And they were supposed to have turned in at like 2 and 3. That's how long the delay was.
I wonder what other teams did with their seafood.
A bunch of them had to drop. Well, not a bunch, but a bunch of them.
Oh, really?
Dropped.
Like, we just can't do it.
So they took these stuffed shrimp, bacon wrap, already been cooked to perfection.
Sous vide them.
Sous vide them for 2.5 hours. Took them out, put them back on a rack, mixed up some more glaze, glazed them real quick again, and turned them in. Perfect score, 6th place. It was tied. We didn't get a call on that one because they coin flip it out, I guess. But I told them, I was like, man, I didn't want to try it at that point. I said, you know what shrimp's going to be like? It is like, you talk about no hold power, can't do nothing with it when it's fully cooked. If you keep putting any more heat to it, it's going to turn into rubber. The texture on it was still awesome. The filling was still creamy and good. It had a balance. It had some spice.
Kept it in
it had the sweetness. It did. And that was, you can't do that in a comp. You can't hold stuff in a sous vide, in the, big meats.
Yeah.
Ancillary, they don't care how you cook it. We could have had it sous vide a week and held it, or what, if you'd been doing something.
So it's illegal to sous vide for.
Oh, yeah. You can't use that. You can't hold anything, any kind of warming device other than your pit.
Yeah.
That's got any kind of power to it or anything like that. So you
right.
can't use a microwave. You can't use a stovetop for the meat.
Yeah. Okay.
You can only use the pit. But for seafood, do whatever you want to do. You can use a toaster oven, George Foreman, if you don't want the George Foreman on.
Yeah, because you can fry. We fried turkey. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Brian did the last category, which was exotic, and he's defending his. He got first. Well, no, he got 3rd place in it last year, but it was tied
perfect.
it was tied
a perfect
for
score that he.
And that's the bad thing about these ancillaries. There's so many teams competing in them that the scores are super tight, and so there's the top 10 could be all perfect scores, But anyway. He did his buffalo. He cuts he takes like a bison or a buffalo ribeye. Got them from Kevin. Last year I got them from Gamekeeper Butchery, the Mossy Oak folks.
And it was great.
And then we asked Kevin if he could source it, and he sent some. And Mark's like, that ain't buffalo. Ain't no way. It's dark red. You can tell the meat's different, but it was marbled up like beef. But it had like a yellowish. So I'm guessing these were grain finished buffalo
Yeah, I don't think they were.
for the fat to look like that. But it was different. You could tell it wasn't beef. But he cuts the spinalis off a show steak. He picks one, and this is going to be my center eye, the ribeye show piece in the box, and he cooks it on a PK with the grill marks, the grill grates. People were there. They recorded a little bit of him doing this. And so he cooks a perfect steak for show, and it goes in the box on top of a parsley bed. And then the others, he takes just the spinalis, like cooks the steaks whole, seasons them, whatever he does, and marks them up, and then cuts the spinalis up, only bites the spinalis, and just kind of stacks it in the box around that show steak. And it's beautiful.
And he puts pepper in with some Boursin.
He makes a creamy, like Boursin cheese. It's like...
it's a sauce.
Yeah, it's like a heavy cream, Boursin
sauce.
Cheese, flavored up, seasoned. And that's what you kind of dip on it. And so last year he did really well with it. This year, I think, I didn't see it. There may have been an incident with the box, and it got tumped. And they didn't open it back up. And we don't know what happened. But I'm willing to bet that all that sauce spilled all over everything. Just from
where was the place?
21st.
Oh,
but
still not bad.
But when you look at the scores on it, I mean, the beef category was so tight.
That was exotic, yeah.
Or exotic, it was tight, and there was like only like a couple tenths of a point difference from first and 21st.
I think he still did really good.
Yeah, he still did really good.
When
it would have been perfect.
Did you try it? Did you try
yes, and it was excellent.
You could tell it wasn't beef.
Yeah. It had a flavor, but it had I mean, you could tell it was game or something like that.
Yeah, you could tell it wasn't beef.
Not beef, yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
So.
And shout out to Kendall, Smoked and Spice. He got a call in beef. I think he was second or third.
Yeah.
He walked the stage in that.
So then Friday night we got to one thing Memphis and May does.
Then they did the awards.
Yeah, one thing Memphis and May does that's different than most other contests is they come and bring you a sheet of paper that says, congratulations, you've made the top 10 or the top 5 or whatever they're giving out for that category. I used to not like that, but now I kind of do because you let me know whether I need to go to the awards or not.
Should I go or should I not?
You're not wasting my time.
And I get that from a team standpoint. It takes the excitement out
a little.
But I know it creates less crowd on them over there, so it speeds up the awards a little because people have to fight through it. But if I'm a team that what if you didn't get a call, you're not going to go to the awards, or why would you?
Exactly. You don't waste my time. But
y'all went. I didn't go.
Yeah. So our ambassador brought us, the congratulations sheet for turkey, chicken wings, and chicken.
Yeah.
So we went over there and represented.
We knew we had 3 calls. You knew we were getting on stage 3 times at Memphis and May, the World Championship. I usually don't. I mean, I've been on stage. I like y'all to go. People that don't go up there all the time
Mark
or whatever.
Didn't go.
Yeah, Mark didn't go. No, he didn't go either.
Yeah.
Who went? So it was you,
me, and Michael, Mikey.
Yeah. If he'd got called
Russell.
beef, he probably would have went.
Brian.
Yeah.
So
Alec went. He'd never been on stage at Memphis with me. Yeah.
The first award we got was turkey, and so we were standing there and they're starting to call off turkey, and we were like, "Who's gonna
do the talking?"
Who's gonna do the talking on stage?" And so we said, "Russell, you got to do it. It's your category. You got to do it." And he's like, "Okay."
He's got it. I got this. Got something worked out. I know what I'm gonna say.
And Russell's
I got to
great
thank
at that.
anybody. I know I'm gonna thank.
Yeah, we talked about who do we need to thank. We figured it out. So we walk up on stage and they said, "Okay, who's in charge here?" And they put the microphone in Russell's face.
Look at it.
And he goes, "Shell's in charge."
That's how they had it all worked out. That's what came out. Shell's in charge. And then what you was like, yes, finally getting my recognition. This is it.
If anybody
People
has
knows
that
respect.
on video, I need it. I need the audio.
Was you thinking RESPECT?
It has been publicly declared.
Put my name on it. I'm finally getting the due justice I deserve. Russell told Shell's in charge. For that one moment on stage in Turkey, you were in charge.
I need a button that I can push and it'll say, "Who's in charge?" Shell's in charge.
That's all he said? Like he didn't thank nobody or anything?
I was like, "You're in charge right now."
Oh, yeah.
And then he went on and did his.
I wish I went to see that.
Yeah.
I didn't get to see that.
And then we came back around and picked up a wing trophy and came back around and
picked up
a chicken trophy. It was fun.
That was a good night.
Weren't you recording that? Because I feel like I heard the audio of this.
Oh, really?
Like you were like
me.
Or,
No,
no,
me.
her.
Oh yeah, no, I wasn't.
I was
Like her phone was recording.
I was
Yeah.
into my fireballs at that time. It's like, y'all go ahead. I got this. I got 10. I'm not letting nobody steal the liquor that's left. I was in the consumption mode.
And then we went home.
Yeah. I went to second line.
Not that night.
Was that not Friday night?
We went to Applebee's that night.
Oh, that was. Oh, we did watch the Grizzlies at Applebee's.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
Um,
Not the Grizz. Yeah, it was too. That's when they got beat, wasn't it? Sorry, Tyler.
It's all right. Better luck next year.
Yeah.
so then Saturday, woke up early.
Main day. Once again, Mark and Jay and Brian spent the night in the trailer because what they did this year was different. Ribs usually goes last at Memphis in May. Typically, it would be like shoulders, whole hog, and then ribs. Well, this year they switched it up, saying that it takes them so long to do ribs because ribs is the largest category. They were going to get it done, get it over with, and then transition into shoulders and then hog last because hog's the biggest thing. It takes the longest to cook. That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I think ribs should go first, shoulders should go second, and hog last. But what that does is changes everybody's timeline because you got these rib teams that were used to cruising in about 7 a.m., getting their pits lit and having plenty of time to cook ribs before almost 1:30, 2 o'clock turn in. Well, now we had to have those turn ins. Was it 10:45?
Yeah. So they were
And
putting
so
on ribs at
We were lighting the pit at
4.
3:30, 4 o'clock, getting ribs on because we like to put a little rest on ours. And by the time me and you got there, Michael, we strolled into about 7 to get the booth set and get the judging area ready. They were almost in a holding pattern. Like ribs were coming in. They were in the final stages of getting them ready to get off the pit. So they had done cruised in.
Yeah. Mark and Jay and Brian.
They were looking pretty ragged. I ain't gonna lie. It looked like
Mark
it was a
and Jay
rough
and
night.
Brian, yeah. Well,
Looked like it was a rough night.
I was told they got into some bad tuna.
I'm sure they did. I'm sure they
ate some
did.
bad tuna.
It was like of the bullet variety. they left after we did and they decided they were going to Uber to a sushi restaurant, right?
Yeah.
They come in, hey, where y'all at? I'm like, man, we're going to bed. I thought y'all were because y'all were getting up. Wait, that might have been Thursday night, though.
It was.
Friday night, yeah, they were just dragging. They were just dragging. But anyway.
It's a hard life out there.
It is. That's the whole. Now, anybody can cook ribs and shoulder and whole hog. Can you do it marathon style with all the other stuff going on and things flowing
All the
and
people.
and the people? That's the challenge of it to me.
All the distractions out there.
That's why you need a big team and some responsible people to do some stuff
Yeah.
while you do the other stuff that's not responsible.
Yeah.
I put in my time doing the responsible stuff. It's time for me to be unresponsible and have a good time.
That's why I like my job because I sit somewhere on the in between.
Yeah. But no, it was a blast. Now, ribs are on site. They cooked the Mark and Jay and Brian and Russell and Jamie were like on pit duty. They made sure everything was cooked. And when it come time to do the box, Waylon comes in that morning. Him and Mark were in the trailer getting the box ready. I was going over everything I needed to do for the on site because I know we've got 3 judges coming. I have got to nail these ribs. I've got to put on a presentation. If the rib's not there, you got to sell it. If it is there, it's easier, but still, you've got to sit down with these judges one-on-one, face-to-face, just like we're in this podcast, and I got to make you think that's the best rib you've had that day. Because they're not judging on the best they've ever had in their lifetime. They're judging you against the other 2 teams that they're going to sit down with, and that's where my job comes in. And I hate to say it, but I was perfect tens. We got robbed in blind. We did. We turned in a blind box, and that's like 4 scores. And then you have your own site judges. They come, and that's 3 scores. And they weight them. I don't know. I guess the blind probably is weighted a little heavier.
I think
Because we had all 3 of our judges come back, and I always ask them, or ask them to come back. Because I think as a cook, it's one thing to sit down and talk to them and try to read them like you're playing poker and, see how you did. But if they'll come back and give you some feedback and tell you, they might not say you got all my 10s, but you can tell. Like if they're constructive, they tell you how great they were.
And we've
That's
had
the best
judges
thing
say,
I've done today. Yeah.
y'all got on my 10s. And
Yeah.
then the scores come back. And
Yeah, but this
They did
time
not.
we did. We had 3 judges come back. All 3 of them did come back, and all 3 of them told me it wasn't even close. Set the precedent.
oh, I thought
So
that was some of the
I
best
mean,
ribs we've ever turned in
Yeah,
Memphis.
they were. The ribs. Those ribs were easy to sell. It wasn't me.
Hey, you got to be good and you got to be
Yeah,
lucky
yeah.
out there.
You do. I mean, the ribs were perfect. They were beautiful. The blind box was beautiful. But man, when they got into that blind table and we didn't make top 10, we didn't get a call. We saw the scores and we finished 41st. I was like, something killed us in blind. I mean, absolutely ate us alive. So we got the scores back. They text you the next day. You get an email or
I
whatever,
think it was,
and so we see them.
which is
And it's like area and personal appearance, all 10s. All the on-site judges, 10, 7 10s, 10 overalls. And then tenderness, all 10s. Flavor, 3 9s. And then they got us an overall. And 2 of those judges, one of them gave us like a 9.3, one of them gave us a 9.6. So you drop some lows, but those scores, when you get 9s like that in a category, 9s absolutely eat you alive at Memphis and May. You're dead in the water.
you got to
And
10
so,
out everything.
yeah, you got to 10 it out. And we didn't on blind really, so we didn't have any luck on blind. And I didn't feel bad about it. I felt great about those ribs going in. I knew the texture on them was good. The flavor was great. I mean, we were extremely happy. They were better than our top 10 ribs last year.
I thought so too.
I thought they were way better. And I mean, the on-site judges loved them. I mean,
it is
so
what it is.
it is what it is. You go and you play another day. But congratulations to Heath. Our buddy Heath Riles won ribs. Man, DeSoto County showed out. Mark Lambert won shoulder. Boars Night Out, second in hog. Melissa Cookston, she was in hog. I don't know, 7th, 8th, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we had some really, really good calls from people right here in the Hernando, Olive Branch, South Haven, Horn Lake area.
And Heath
Showed
has
out.
been cooking ribs and winning in ribs for years.
But that was
but
his
has
first Memphis in
never
May.
got in the top 3 at Memphis May.
Yep.
So I feel like nobody deserved it more.
Yeah, I was glad to see it. And I
Yeah.
really was hoping that he would win the overall
yeah,
grand
yeah.
champion. Now, hey, shout out to the Blues Hog guys. They killed it, man.
They're gonna
Cook a whole hog on a drum smoker. Now they made it's a whole hog drum smoker.
it's a giant drum.
Yeah, but that was awesome, and they won grand champion. And you know what? I have been super impressed by them. They the past 3 years, I don't know if they've cooked it more than 3 years, but I know they have finaled in ribs and in shoulder, and now whole hog, and won the grand in whole hog. Last year they may have won shoulder. I can't remember. But I know they've got big
Yeah.
trophies in all 4 of those categories, and now they've got a world championship.
Oh, Tim Shears.
He's awesome.
He is.
Yeah.
Um,
And getting basted, man.
yeah,
That's
getting
that's
basted
a
pretty
heck of
good.
a team
Yeah.
right there. We're talking to the top KCBS teams to come over to Memphis style.
oh, they're going to end up
barbecue.
winning one of all of them.
Man, hey, they got if a
They've
team,
got a really good
That's the
chance.
hardest. See, that's the hardest one for a KCBS style team to get that one. I mean, they're really good at getting the Jack, the American Royal, even Houston Livestock. But that Memphis one's because you throw in that different style of judging with the
It's a whole
on-site,
different
and it's
world, yeah.
different. And so, anyway, shout out to those guys.
And Heath has agreed to come on the podcast. We'll be
Oh, is
talking
he-
now
yeah.
next week.
Okay.
so.
Well, we're going to get Memphis and May from his perspective. Y'all got it from mine. I hope you felt like you were there. I mean, that ain't everything that went on, but that's a lot. I didn't say nothing about the Butterman. We made some friends from Minnesota. They were cooking. They came down and were cooking at Memphis in May.
What beer did they bring? It was pretty
Some Minnesotan
good.
beer. Tyler, did you get a picture of that beer? I don't even know. I drank it. I thought it was great. They
It
brought
was
down
really good.
They brought beer and they brought this butter from a creamery up in Minnesota. And we were eating this butter, just like cutting off slivers of it and just butter. And it was fantastic.
We were putting it on a cracker.
I put it in the refrigerator in the trailer and brought it home. Do we have a cracker? I don't remember. I think we were just eating a piece of butter.
No, we
ate
had
that.
some.
We didn't do it on those.
Oh, I was putting it on a cracker.
Yeah, I didn't have any crackers.
You were just eating butter.
We were just eating butter. The guy was like, "You try this butter."
It was great butter.
Oh, it was
It tasted
awesome.
more like
It was
cheese.
awesome. Yeah, it had
melted.
man. And I looked on the ingredients. It just said cream, salt, only 2 things, but it was awesome. It was really good. And then my buddy Matt from Victorinox, I guess it's his uncle over in West Point, makes fresh
South.
souse pork souse or hog souse. And I don't know if anybody knows what that is, but it's a Southern thing. Think of it as like a meat terrine. You know, these fancy restaurants that do charcuterie boards make terrines of meat where it's like a molded, like a Jell-O mold with meat parts and seasonings. That's what this is. And, oh, man, I brought some of that home and ate it with some hot sauce on a cracker. And I did eat that one on a cracker. That's how you eat souse. And I still got some of that at home. I had to take some of it and give it to my mom and dad. But we met so many people, got to talk to so many people. That's what Memphis in May is about. It's not, you know, it is a contest. It's the World Championship, Super Bowl of Swine, the all 9 yards. But it's about meeting people, seeing people that we don't see all year long, visiting, friends, fun. That's what's great about it.
We did almost have a disaster with our kale.
Oh, I wrote that down. I called it the Kale Debacle. Well, you know, when people are walking by and they're like, there's a sewer leak around here somewhere. And it's like, and the head electrician guy.
He was watching it set up.
He was like, what is that god-awful smell? I didn't know. And Wyland told me, man, he said, it's like an outhouse out here. Something's up. And y'all were fixing to put it on the pit Saturday morning. I guess you opened the back. Tell me what happened to the kale.
So when we do contests, typically what I do is I wash the parsley or the kale or whatever, let it dry.
Decor.
Yeah, the decor, whatever you're using for your garnish. Let it dry, roll it up with some paper towels, and vacuum seal it. The vacuum sealing it keeps it from getting waterlogged. It typically keeps it fresher longer. It works really great for parsley. So I thought, it's going to work for kale.
Evidently, kale off gases. Or something.
We cut that vacuum seal bag open Saturday morning.
Like cloud hung.
And everybody was looking at everybody else thinking they just pooed it on them, you know? It's so bad.
It was rotten.
And so we were like,
sulfury.
let's just let it air out. Let's just let it air out. And then we said, maybe we should wash it. Let's try to wash it. And about that time, the electrician walked by and was like, I think we got a sewer leak. I'm like, we can't use it.
We can't, because it was going in the pit with the show ribs. Can you imagine opening that up? We're talking about all this wood, charcoal, and onions we put in this pit to get this, cook these perfect ribs. You open that up and it's just like, woof, sewage. Raw, right
but
there.
But the kale was still like green and fresh.
It wasn't yellow.
Yeah.
I didn't.
It wasn't.
I've never seen it do that, but it must have trapped because we had it in this ice vendor, and the ice vendor is a lifesaver at Memphis. Yeah. It's just like the ice machine or ice box you see outside a convenience store. You can go buy bagged ice. You can rent those at Memphis and May. We keep everything in it. It keeps our beer cold. It never freezes. It doesn't get cold enough to freeze, but it gets cold.
Yeah.
And that's where we keep everything. That's where the kale
it's
was,
our refrigerator.
Right? Yeah. It's like, we use it as a big outdoor refrigerator.
Yeah.
I need one of those for the shop in Senatobia.
But yeah, the kale did not last. I would not recommend doing that again.
Yeah, don't do it. But our grill looked beautiful. Emily took some parsley and decorated the board up that we put in there with the ribs on it.
She was a lifesaver that morning.
It did. You did the peppers, sweated them out in water. Is it sweat them or soak them?
No, you soak them in cold water and
them
it
up.
makes them open. We made
pineapples. It was beautiful, beautiful presentation.
It was real nice.
But that's, the Memphis and May wrap up right there. No, but we're not through because we are going to come back next week with Heath Riles. You mentioned that.
We're going to talk a little about Memphis and May.
See what he's up to this summer.
Yeah.
We got to talk Memorial Day. That's the big grilling holiday. That's the kickoff for grilling season, Memorial Day holiday. Everybody's going to be firing them up. So I'm sure I'll be cooking up something. I've got a recipe I'll be working on this week for YouTube. I don't know if everybody's seen it, but it's like a grinder sandwich. It's a grinder sandwich, which is like a submarine sandwich. It could be any kind of submarine, but what made it unique to me is this grinder slaw they put on it. So instead of just putting lettuce and cheese and tomatoes and pickles and all that, they make a lettuce salad and they dress it with mayo and oil and vinegar and sandwich oil and seasonings and
pepperoncinis and red onion.
It looks so good on this sandwich. I said, I got an idea. I'm going to do a pork grilled version of that, but I'm going to make a grinder slaw instead of a grinder salad. I'm going to use cabbage, and it's going to have more of a barbecue texture. Same kind of ingredients, creamy, crunchy, on some meat, cheese, bread, submarine sandwich style, barbecue grinder, something like that. So I'm working on that, and that'll probably be the next YouTube video. We've got some TikToks lined up from the event at Memphis in May. I know I mentioned the one bite nacho. I made up a bullfrog. I think we got some of that. I did a few stupid stuff, but
bullfrog is the recipe of the summer.
It is. It's going to be.
If you've got a pool, or even if you don't have a pool,
get you a drink cooler, make you a bullfrog.
You can drink bullfrog and pretend like you have.
Yeah. Get you
But-
one of those kiddie pools. Put your feet in
Yeah.
it. It
But
works.
that was it. That was Memphis in a nutshell.
It was a good year. We came home with some awards. Got to
Learn-
thank everybody who was on our team this year: Outlaw Smokers, Jay and Alec, Right on Cue, Russell and Karen, Brian from Son of a Butcher, and of course Swine Life, Mark and Jamie,
and
Mikey.
He's not on Swan Life. He's on Mikey Life. He's the wingman. I didn't get him shirts as wingman.
He's
Would
on
love
How to
it.
Barbecue Right, yeah.
Yeah, he's on team How to Barbecue Right.
And everybody else. We were right beside
Yeah.
Jay and Jamie from Tennessee
Mojo.
Mojo. That was super nice
I
to have
like-
them
yeah.
next door.
Yep.
And Heath won. So
Yeah, he won.
we won
That's-
ribs. So
Well, Shell, Tyler, anything you need to tell them?
I do want to say congrats to Chris. He won our rib photo contest. in
Oh,
the
really? I
community
didn't see
page.
which. I didn't get. Y'all didn't let me have a pick.
Good.
I guess I was busy.
It was who he got the most likes.
Oh, it wasn't a pig.
He's the-
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Y'all didn't let me pick.
Is that childish? Well, usually it's like, hey, Malcolm, we need you to pick a winner. All right, I
Yeah,
like
and
that
you go number 3. You don't even look. You just throw something at it.
one. I'm a random number generator. If you need a number, just throw it at me. 272. I'll just give you
Between 1 and 50.
47. Went on the high end, that one. You didn't know that's one of my talents, random number generator?
He won a $100 butcher shop gift card, but we had such a good response and we kind of had fun with it. So I think we're going to do some more.
Okay, yeah. Hey, that's a good one. We got show us your best barbecue sandwich for Memorial Day. Steak for Father's Day.
Something like that. Yeah.
yeah.
We'll do something like that. We got some more white sauce to give away. So
Okay.
And if you
What
guys
to
do
do.
want to check out Memphis in May, kind of from start to finish, if you go to @HowToBBQRight on Instagram.com, there's a story highlight and there's hundreds of pictures on that story. That
I'm glad
guys
you
can
highlighted.
Yeah, that's cool.
watch all that on. So
Just
You
kind
can
of gets
see-
it behind the scenes of what it was really like.
There's also a picture of the red cooler.
You didn't put missing. That's
We
a good
did.
post. Did you do a missing post?
Yeah.
I did.
If found, there's probably a reward for it. I'm going to throw it out there right now, $85. If you break Shell's cooler back, sans the lid,
Intact.
in good shape, And if it has,
Actually, I
you know,
threw away the lid this
oh,
week.
well, don't bring it back then. What good is it? Don't need it. All right. Well, Shell, where can they find us?
If you'd like to connect with Malcolm, it's HowToBBQRight on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and of course YouTube. If you'd like to connect with me, it's Miss Southern Shell on Instagram.
All right. Well, appreciate y'all hanging out with us today. And we will be back next week for another exciting edition of Barbecue Right, the podcast. We'll see y'all. We gone.